Do you think the Habs should trade Carey Price? Should they go full, quote unquote rebuild and ship Carey Price out?
Okay, here I think you do, and the reason I say that is, I mean, if you look around, I had the stands here somewhere. I mean, Ottawa's they're in rebuild, full rebuild. Detroit essentially full rebuild. You have Hughes this year coming up, centerman, who's they're already calling generational. You have Alex Lafreniere from Rimouski, who played as an underage at the Hive-Nalenka. He's a centerman, and I think what last year he had, I don't know the exact, it was just ridiculous as a 16-year-old in the queue.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even get drafted until not this draft, next draft. Whoever does this right could potentially will get one of those guys if the draft lottery works in their way. Because I just think if you can get two generational guys that are going to be centermen, like that is just massive. That is so big. And I don't think Montreal will finish last with Carey Price and Nets.
No.
I just don't think.
So is that why you think they should trade him so they cannot finish?
I think that.
So they can finish last.
I know a lot of Montreal fans are excited because of the Kotkaniemi there, the Suzuki trade. I mean, I know they got Ryan. What's his last name?
Ryan Poehling.
Yeah, the American who played in the World Juniors and all that stuff. But I mean, you're still gonna have to find defense here. Yeah. You're gonna still find defensemen. I mean, I don't think and even if you get even if the Suzuki, Poehling, is that his name there? Poehling,
yeah.
And Kotkaniemi. I mean, what if only one of them is a legit?
Yeah.
Like, what if Suzuki's a third line center?
Yeah.
What if Poehling doesn't make the NHL? I just think if you did it
That's
now.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of fans are looking at it now like, oh, we have a 1C in the future. We have a 2C.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee at all.
It's not.
By no means.
Absolutely not.
And I mean, I think they did great with the Pacioretty trade. And the one thing I would maybe possibly wait for is to see what Columbus does with Sergei Bobrovsky. Because if they do trade him with 1 year left and they were to get a huge haul for him, I mean, Carey, what do you think St. Louis would pay for Carey Price?
Yeah.
If St. Louis could bring in a goaltender, I mean, I'm thinking it's Kyrou, Thomas. I mean, it's just
Bergevin wouldn't be making a trade and giving them Carey Price unless he was getting Pierre-Luc Dubois in return.
No, I don't think they trade him to Columbus. I mean, that could make sense. That would be, I think, that would be a sick trade. I think St. Louis, but yeah, I never even thought of that. If Columbus does move Bobrovsky, because Columbus ain't going nowhere. But even if they lose Panarin, I think they're still a hell of a hockey team.
Yeah.
Right? So I think, yeah, Columbus could be, but I think St. Louis, especially now, I mean, Tarasenko, you just made a trade for Ryan O'Reilly. I mean, you got Braden Shen there. You got Jaden Schwartz there. Robbie Fabry's coming back from injury. You have Pietrangelo. Bouwmeester, 1 year left on his deal. What is he, 33, 34?
Yeah.
Colton Franco. This might be the time for St. Louis to
go all in and try and get a guy like Carey Price.
Yeah, I mean, especially in National Winnipeg Division, you ain't gonna not with this lineup here. You're not gonna compete.
See, okay, now I'm gonna say no. The Habs absolutely should not trade Carey Price, and I think, and I don't mean to attack you personally, but I think there's a lot of Leafs fans and Bruins fans who you hear these things from. Oh, the Habs should trade Carey Price. I think there's a lot of fans of those teams that would absolutely love us to trade him and just not have him on our roster anymore. Now, that's not the main reason why I don't think they should trade him. I just don't think in any way, shape, or form, if you trade Carey, you win the trade. I think you're automatically shipping out the best player in the deal, and you're taking a huge risk.
That is true.
It's like you look at what happened with the Sens and Carlson. Now, I'm confident that Bergevin could strike a better deal than that.
Yeah, but Carey got term too, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mind you, it would be hard to find a team that would be willing to take on the 10.5, because that is a lot for a goalie.
Yes, that's going to be tough.
So I'm almost at the point where we signed the contract, so let's own it, and let's just hold on to him, and hopefully he can remain a Hab for the rest of his career.
The one thing I have with that is it's almost like the Leafs situation years ago when they were not good enough to be a playoff team, but they weren't bad enough to be a last place team. I mean, you go through the drafts, and you're drafting guys 13th overall, 14th overall, 15th overall, constantly every year. I think that could be Montreal, and that just makes the rebuild so much tougher. Because then you really have to hit gems. And my point with trading Price now is, like I said, Hughes the generational talent. This kid is sick. Lafreniere from Rimouski, this kid is filthy. So if you do trade Price, not only are you getting what you're getting in return, you're also getting $10 million in cap space. And you're making your odds a lot better to get one of those two kids, even a second round or second overall pick or third overall pick also, right? And if Montreal is ready to contend in 3 or 4 years, even let's say 3 years, Carey Price is what at that age? 33, 34? Carey Price's 2 last seasons haven't been the greatest. Save percentage I seen the other night was 864.
Oh, preseason. I don't
It's
even
only
want,
no,
that
I
doesn't even
know.
matter. Yeah.
It's only preseason, but it's 864. I mean, I don't think he's like I said. I think still
Rene,
goal.
Holtby, Lundqvist are all in that range.
Yes, because like I said, I don't think Montreal's going to finish last with him. He's not a bad goalie.
Yeah.
I just think if you're going to do this rebuild right, I'm just curious to see anyway what they could possibly get for him.
I'd be curious to see what they could get, but at the end of the day, I would just rather keep them because I think this team is closer to reaching their peak than what people think.
My thing is Toronto and Tampa's going nowhere. Like nowhere. So it's like even if Toronto does lose Nylander, even if, I don't know, even if, well, I mean, Jesus, who's Tampa going to lose? Even if they were to lose Kucherov, let's say if he wasn't to re-sign ever, did he re-sign? I'm not sure. Kucherov?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, who are they going to lose?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you got to bring in some, because you ain't going to get these guys through free agents, right? I mean, if you did and you went and got a John Tavares S player through free agents, well, then you're stuck to the cap now. It carries 10, the free agents 10, whatever's Weber's making. So, I mean, it's just...
I just think there's a lot more responsible ways to build a team than trading your absolute best player for futures when they're in the position that they are, especially the way that the draft lottery is built right now. It's not... You can finish. You can finish last and still not get the player you have your eyes on, or you could finish bottom 15 and end up with the first overall pick just out of a fluke.
Yeah.
So like the Habs could end up with a player like that, you know, in which they need. They could end up with a generational talent just out of luck. They could end up not getting one just out of luck.
I just think you should try to maximize your chances of potentially getting the number 1 overall pick.
Which I get, but I don't think you should do that for just 2 seasons and then you have a huge hole in net where you didn't have that before.
But now, I wouldn't, like, if Carey Price is 25, 26, 27, I'm probably not touching it. But where he's 30 years old now, and like I said, if Montreal's ready, I don't even know how you can say they're going to be ready. Like, let's say they're a playoff team in 3 years. I mean, Carey Price is now 33 years old. I mean, let's say 5 years you're actually ready to go win a cup. He's 35, making $10 million. And I mean, Lundqvist and Rangers right now making huge money. And like I said, the Rangers probably, if they got rid of, even though he wasn't the greatest last year, but I mean, if the Rangers would have shipped him out a couple of years ago and brought in their pieces right now and assets right now. Yeah. I just think Montreal... But
the Habs are a much younger team right now than what the Rangers were a few years ago.
It all depends on Montreal's philosophy.
Yeah.
Are we actually rebuilding, like Ottawa's rebuilding, or are we just going to try to do this on the fly? Hopefully we hit a free agent here or there. Hopefully we hit a trade. You know, someone like... I mean... I
don't think they are doing I mean, I know they're not doing a full rebuild because Bergevin has said that, but I just... The other thing that you got to take into consideration too is Carey has a no-move clause, so he would have to approve any trade that would happen. And so I don't think he will unless he's going back home up to BC.
That's if you got Vancouver Pettersson, but then Vancouver's not trading that for Carey Price.
Yeah, exactly. So I just kind of think the Habs are. I don't want to say stuck with him because you can't be stuck with Carey Price. It's Carey Price. I just think he's here to stay.
I would hope at the very least Bergevin has just tried to test the waters and see what a possible return would be for Carey Price. He may see what a possible return is.
He's apparently the most active GM on the phone.
Yeah,
any of them. So, but yeah, I just the other thing too is if you're trading Carey, and that would signify a full rebuild, and I personally don't like full rebuilds at all.
That's the thing. You got to get the fans to buy into it.
You got to get the fans to buy into it, and still to this day, you know, there hasn't been a full rebuild that has worked yet. You can look at the Toronto Maple Leafs on paper and go, they're a cup contender. But that doesn't mean the rebuild has worked yet. That's just people deeming what their roster looks like on paper.
Well, at the end of the day, only one team can win the cup out of 31.
Yeah.
So
the Oilers have been rebuilding for 10 years. And, you know, great, they got Connor McDavid. But, you know, show me the cup. Same for Arizona. The last rebuild to actually work would have been... The last 2 would have been the Pens and Chicago.
Well, LA would have been...
And kinda.
Because, all their guys are drafted. Like, Kopitar, Doughty, Quinn. Yeah. They draft... I mean...
Were they bottoming out? I can't remember.
Yeah, because remember, they back in the day, they had, like, Cam and Larry on their team, like Frolov on their team. They moved those guys
Wayne
out.
Simmons, they shipped
Wayne
him
Simmons
out.
went to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Did they have Did they draft Braden Shen? No.
They did, I think.
Did they draft Braden Shen?
I thought they did, yeah. Because then he got traded to Philly, and then he got traded to...
so they trade Shen and Simmons together to Philly?
No, I don't think so. Simmons was before that.
Yeah, because he was before Mike Richards.
Yeah. So anyway, the last full rebuilds to work started in like 2003, and they only paid off a couple years ago. So do the Habs really want to ship out their best player, risk, encouraging a losing culture in their room, and then have to fight against that?
I will say this one thing: Edmonton. There's only one. Hall's not a generational guy. I mean, he wasn't even the best guy in his draft. I mean, you can argue say again. Nuge, it's not generational talent. When they drafted Yakupov, everybody was still scratching their head saying Ryan Murray might be the best player.
I remember you and I were saying, "My God, why didn't they take Murray?"
That's right. So I mean, at the end, even like at the end of the day, but they got McDavid.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the Leafs got Matthews. I mean, they didn't get the rest of these guys aren't first overall picks, Marner and Nylander. No. So they only tanked once.
And got really lucky.
Buffalo,
really lucky.
Yes,
and they changed the rules for the draft lottery after that.
As they should have.
Yeah,
I think it's Vancouver fans got to be outraged, like just wild. Like they and Buffalo. Yeah. Buffalo should have what? Ekblad and McDavid. Shouldn't they not? Instead, they got Eichel Reinhardt.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my. I guess that's enough about Carey and if we should trade him. I don't think we're changing each other's minds.